The Italian MEP insisted the European Union will need to completely change its approach to dissent from smaller member states to survive into the future. Mr. Zanni accused the bloc of provoking Hungary and Poland into vetoing the common budget after agreeing to an arbitrary rule of law mechanism. Mr. Zanni said, "I think those who are most irresponsible are those who continue to use the rules in a political manner to punish those who aren't in line with a certain way of thinking." Barnier orders Frost to budge or EU chief will cancel crunch Brexit meeting in London. And we need to be aware of that because the methods we're using isn't working. We can't have a dictatorship of the majority as some people would like. The Lega MEP continued. The rules are all very well when they're working appropriately, but then they need to be changed if a minority stands against the will of the majority. That's what people are saying, so we need to decide what kind of a democracy we want. He added, we need to understand the errors of what we're doing and the limits of the European Union. The error is to want rules which should help us in a moment of need, and then, when we find ourselves in difficulty, we suspend the rules. The fiscal rules, the stability pact, those rules were suspended. We temporarily suspended state aid rules. The European Central Bank is pushing its mandate to the limit. So that's where we need to look to see what the problem is. Are the methods that we use in line with what the European Union is? An intergovernmental agreement between member states which are legitimately different. European Union criticized by Polish MEP over budget row. Hungary and Poland have repeatedly locked horns with Brussels as the bloc warn recent national decisions taken in the two member states go against common values. The European Parliament urged the European Commission and the Council to agree to a strict mechanism that would require the bloc to withhold funds from the common budget should members be found to be breaching the rules. The Italian MEP insisted Hungary and Poland had a right to express opposition to the imposed requirements and expressed his surprise at the EU not expecting the two countries to oppose the MFF regulatory mechanism. He added, the vetoes are legitimate. I have to say I am surprised at those who are surprised of this veto, as it was already clear that if we went ahead with this rule on the rule of law would have known Hungary and Poland would have vetoed it. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen stressed that the rule dictating that common funds can only be sent to governments that observe the rule of law would be applied only to protect EU budget funds. Mrs. von der Leyen said, "We are talking here about the violations of the rule of law that are threatening the EU budget, and only that," she said. "It is very difficult to imagine anybody in Europe who would possibly have anything against that principle. Anyone still in doubt has a clear path. They can go to the European Court of Justice and allow the new rules to be tested there. That is the place where differences of opinion about legislative texts are usually settled, and it is not done at the expense of millions and millions of European citizens who are urgently waiting for our help."